Howdy vinyl community, and welcome YouTubers from everywhere celebrating this Labor Day weekend. Music for watching trains and riding the rails. This is the perfect time to do that video. The Transcontinental Railroad, when that went through, changed America, and you could tell the story of America by the story of the railroads. All aboard! This Train, Joe Bonamassa. He's recorded that on several other albums, but I just picked this one to show. That's an excellent tune. There's a number of versions on YouTube. One of the things that's interesting, that little open riding the rails track that we started with, that was filmed by the Spoon Lady. The next little clip you're going to see here, we don't have a album for that. I don't believe there is an album, but it's going to be Chris Rodriguez and the Spoon Lady, and they're going to be doing the tune Angels in Heaven. The Spoon Lady is a big Riding the Rails fan, and that was her video that opened it. She is very popular on YouTube. She's got videos up that got over several million views. Let's tug the whistle, if we had one, for the Spoon Lady.
I know I've been changed. I know I've been changed, Lord, and I know I've been changed. The angels in heaven don't sign my name, and I know I've been changed. I know I've been changed, Lord, and I know I've been changed. The angels in heaven don't sign my name.
The musical father of riding the rails, the singing brakeman, Jimmie Rodgers. He was famous for loving the railroads and grabbing a fast freight train. Merle Haggard here, a big fan. He did a complete album, a double LP set of all just Jimmie Rodgers tunes. It's fantastic. I've shown this before. I did a video a year or two ago where I featured Jimmie Rodgers, so not going to talk about that here, but here's just a little bit of Merle Haggard doing the California Blues.
Well, I'm going to California, where they sleep out every night. Yeah. I'm going to California, where they sleep out every night. I'm leaving you, mama, 'cause you know you don't treat me right. Let me tell you something, mama, that you don't know. Let me tell you something, good gal, that you don't know. Well, I'm a do-right papa, and got a home everywhere I go.
Boz Scaggs, his first album. I've shown this record and talked about it a little bit before. One of the big hits Jimmie Rodgers had was Waiting for a Train. So we're going to hear my old buddy Carl Sonny Leyland play just a little bit of it. I've recorded and produced 2 CDs for him, but we didn't include this tune because he already had it on another album. So you'll see a little bit of Sonny, and then you're going to hear Boz Scaggs and Duane Allman.
Well, it's all around the water tank. Well, I'm waiting for for a train. Well, I'm 1,000 miles away from home and sleeping in the rain. I stepped up to a brakeman to give him a line of talk. Well, he said, if you've got money, I'll see that you don't walk.
All around the water tank, waiting for a train, 1,000 miles away from home, sleeping in the rain. I walked up to a brakeman to give him a line of talk. He says, if you've got the money, I'll see that you don't walk.
Well, the music for watching trains, riding the rails, doesn't just have to be about trains. It can be any music that we enjoy. And coming up here is going to be just a little bit of happy hardcore music, and this is a genre, a category that was not familiar to me, and my friend who introduced me to the joys of watching trains and changed my attitude about that sent me a link to some happy hardcore, and now that's my next area to explore.
We are the children of the night and fight for the future of our nation. Let's come together and unite. Nothing's gonna stop us now. Let the fire burn inside. Nobody can stop this generation. Cause we're the children of the night. Don't ever let them put you down. Get up, get up, I get up. Now is the time to change. Get up, get up, I get up. There is no time to waste. Get up, I get up. Don't ever let them put you down. Get up, come along and join the scene. Live your life like a race machine.
Here's another example. Doesn't really have anything to do with trains. One of the groups I've gotten into in the last year, Lake Street Dive. I really like them. Here's a tune called You Go Down Smooth. And one of the things about train songs, train music, it's that chuk 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 chuk, that rhythm of the train that was part of what helped create Boogie Woogie to start with. And in this particular tune, You Go Down Smooth, listen to the little bass on this track.
Would it be true to say that I ordered you? Or is it you that ordered me? I could say you are the only one I see, but I can't stop at 2 or 3. And I am afraid to need you so. And I am too sober not to know that you may be my problem, not my love.
What would be your favorite music for watching trains or riding the rails? Could be anything. Here's a video clip. Somebody who was a big fan of trains, they put together a bunch of clips of trains and they sequenced it to Don McLean's American Pie.
A long, long time ago, I can still remember how that music used to make me smile. And I knew if I had my chance that I could make those people dance, and maybe they'd be happy for a while. But February made me shiver with every paper I deliver. Bad news on the doorstep, I couldn't take one more step. I can't remember if I cried when I read about his widowed bride, but something touched me deep inside the day the music died.
New record just out. The Duke Robillard Band, Earworms. Just got this record a couple days ago, and it's a good one. I Am a Lonesome Hobo. Going to hear a little bit of that track, and of course, hoboing is just almost directly tied to railroads and trains, isn't it?
Some hobo without family or friends, where another man's life might begin. That's exactly where mine ends. I've tried my hand at bribery, blackmail and deceit. Yeah, I've served time for everything except begging on the street.
Good friend of mine, David Thomas Roberts. He's a composer, a pianist, a visual artist, a poet, a really talented person. Here was an album he did back in 1980. He was fairly young then. I've recorded and co-produced a number of albums for him over the years, including a few tunes that went on other people's albums. Family Line System, a railroad down southern Mississippi area where he grew up and influenced him tremendously. This is a great tune. What is one of the best kinds of music for watching trains or riding the rails? Ragtime. Ragtime was right there at the beginning that influenced Jimmie Rodgers. And here's a great tune called The Family Line System. I'm adding this clip a little longer than normal because while you listen to David play this tune, you're going to see some of the paintings that he has done. And just remember, we're talking about watching trains here. Be hard to underestimate the importance of trains and railroads in America, the world as we know it today. My father graduated from high school just about the time the Great Depression started. He rode the rails. He hoboed around the country for 3 or 4 years because during the Depression there wasn't anything else to do. And I remember hearing him tell many stories very fondly about his days of hoboing around the country. And so this is something that's more important than we might like to think about sometimes, or it has a bigger impact sometimes in people's lives. And I want to leave one of my favorite tunes, Boomer's Story, Rycooter. I did a Rycooter thing recently and I played that, and my favorite version of that is the Black Crows. They had a fairly big hit with Boomer's Story. And just to give you a little idea how some people feel about railroads, I want to read just a little stanza near the close of this tune. And that is, if you want to do me one favor, when I die, bury my bones beside the railroad track so I can hear the trains go by. Hey, keep 'em spinning, and see you all over at the rail yard, and happy Labor Day.